Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Lunar. I am the artistic and managing director here at Upper Darby Summer Stage. I'm here today with Allie Buchanan, who's a member of our marketing staff. And I'm also here with legendary Broadway stage manager and a very good friend of mine, Arturo Porazzi, who was the production stage manager of Memphis, the musical on Broadway. I've talked about, I think, a lot with Memphis as a whole. And, I think a lot of our audiences are going, what is this title? What is this story? And I've really described, so much of it is about just like, I think the power of music.
We forget the origins of a lot, and this is really what it's about. That the rock and roll, everyone thinks of Elvis Presley, so they just think of rock and roll. And it's these prejudices that are coming back that that America has worked so hard to get rid of.
Part of the reason I wanted to do Memphis right now is because while this story does take place in 1950s Memphis, which seems like such a long time ago, it's like we get to look at that period of time in this show and go and be inspired by how far we've come, but also realize how many of these issues that we're still dealing with, on a daily basis. And I think especially after the pandemic, we can see that like music and theater and entertainment as a whole has the power to connect. And that's what this story is about.
That's what the arts are all about. Communication, making us feel something that we need to actually address.
Because you were with the show in Seattle briefly, and then with the show on Broadway for its entire run, I would love to talk about like some audience reactions.
Did I not take you out into the house and look at the curtain call?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly the story I was going to tell. Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's what you don't see when you're calling as a stage manager.
Yeah.
So that's why I said you get out there, you take a look, and you look at the faces, and you say, "Okay, this worked." And they would leap to their feet, blackout, and they're standing. And they're not standing to get to the parking lot. They're standing because, hey, this was terrific. I never met anyone who didn't like the show.
I was going to tell the story, and I reference this story all the time as like a moment of like why I feel like I'm still in theater, which was, so I saw it like countless times as an audience member. And then I saw it once where I got to sit on headset and hear Gary call the show. I then was backstage once with you where you took me around while the show was like in motion. And I remember we would like stand in a wing and like a set piece would come rolling off stage and you'd be like, "Oh, watch out." And Arturo says, "Follow me." And he brings me through the pass door. And then I'm standing down center at the Schubert Theater on Broadway, watching like 1,200 people just like screaming and applauding and like living their best life. And I remember just like being a gaze and being like, oh my gosh. And I remember you said to me, "This is why we do it."